spiral notebook. It's called Avatar: The Legend of Sofeena. I would upload it on DeviantArt or whatever, but I don't have a laptop right now. I did this like a few months ago, and look at the color eyes, black glowing eyes, the white glowing eyes, like Avatar Aang had it and Korra had it. So she's the current real Avatar, Sofeena, and this red and blue glowing eyes. This is another um, deviation from the white glowing eyes Avatar. And in this story, the Avatar was renamed as the Bright Avatar, and then the Dark Avatar, which the Dark Avatar first came into existence during Avatar: The Legend of Korra. But I decided to give him black eyes, being a reverse of the white eyes, and then the eyes. This one's the neutral Avatar, the Bright Avatar, the Dark Avatar. And before tell you about the story, this is Avatar Sofeena. She's more of a mistress like, almost like a seductress, very ladylike. She's a singer. She's very feminine and girly because a lot of people I realize when they do hero, these female heroes, they never make them girly girl like. I'm like, that'd be very interesting if there's an avatar that's very feminine like, don't like fighting and all that, very passive, whatever, very sweet and kind of scared or whatever. And this is one of her outfits. See what type of person she is. She likes to dance almost completely naked sometimes. That's just the type of girl she is. She even has a song about her. And this is the neutral avatar. I imagine the Fire Nation's neutral avatar would be black. I know you can't see it over the phone too good, but his name is Shadow Kane. Right now he's 10 years old, short, but over the years he'll get taller. Over the years, and the neutral, the dark avatar, which is Shepherd Fields. You think he's some kind of evil person, but no. And I'm gonna put the phone down now. I think you heard enough. So it takes place in a parallel universe called harmonics convergence, whatever. It's completely separated from the original timeline of Avatar Korra. In this universe, someone else was the original Avatar, the first Avatar, Avatar Belford. He was from the Air Nation way back. And going down to Aang, after Aang died, Korra wasn't born, but another Avatar was born instead of Korra. And many, then the story picks up around 15,000 years later, and there's a bright avatar, the one with the white glowing eyes. I named him Avatar Eduardo Sanchez. And he was in the spirit realm fighting between Rava and Vatu. And Vatu knocked the uh, Rava, the light spirit, which I call the harmony spirit, across a sector onto some mountains, whatever, and then she, Rava, crashed into the ocean, bothering another gigantic spirit. And this one, the gigantic spirit that was bothered inside the ocean, is called Avalon, the neutral spirit. And so Rava woke up Avalon, and this neutral spirit is built like a man, like a big giant Megazord, basically. He's more like the basher, chaser, beat your ass type, kick you. He got the muscular man body, the helmet face, the red, blue glowing visor as his eyepieces. Oh man, I think I'll show you that one day. And so they started fighting Rava, Batu, and Avalon, which was a battle between the Harmony Spirit Rava, the Chaos Spirit Vatu, and the Neutral Spirit Avalon. They got into this big brawl fight. At first, they knocked down Avalon, and they thought the battle was over. But then Rava told Vatu, Vatu, oh my gosh, Avalon, oh, excuse me, Rava fought Avalon long before Vatu was even created. So before Vatu was created, at some point in the past, time before that, it was Rava versus Avalon in a constant battle of who would claim the earth for 10,000 years. So it was Rava, the harmony spirit, versus Avalon, the neutral spirit. And so later on, after Vatu came around 15,000 years later or 12,000 years later, I haven't exactly done the timeline of Eduardo Sanchez to the current living bright avatar, which would be the white glowing eyes avatar state. So eventually, Avalon, the neutral spirit, won. Rava and Vatu looked at horror. They thought they was about to be destroyed, and 10,000 years of neutral will overtake the world. But then Avalon said, hold on. The reason why I didn't get involved all them years between Rava and Vatu is because if I would have won, no, excuse me, if I would have won, good and evil will still be against each other in an endless repeat of selfishness versus selfless over and over again. And so when Batu came along many years ago, Avalon just sat back, let Rava believe that she defeated Avalon. And Avalon just went to sleep and just watched Rava rule or Vatu fight each other over and over again while Avalon just watched from the sidelines in the spirit world. And so Vatu, Rava lost to Avalon, and Avalon wanted to play this avatar thing as well. So he grabbed Rava, which would create the bright avatars, which would be the white glowing one, eyes, and the dark avatar, which would be the black glowing eyes. And so Avalon took both those spirits plus himself and went into Avatar Eduardo Sanchez by force. And that was the first bright avatar. That was all three avatar types for the first time. So Eduardo Sanchez, let me show you his face. Hold on. Come on. So this is Eduardo Sanchez, the bright avatar. These are his original eyes right here, the white one. So this is the dark avatar eyes, and this is the neutral avatar eyes. And Eduardo came straight out of the Earth Kingdom a long time ago. And so after Eduardo Sanchez died as the avatar, the world was still in disarray. They didn't want to obey. And so the three avatar spirits left Eduardo and got reincarnated as three different beings. And in the avatar line, it'll be the bright avatar first, and then the neutral and dark avatar will always be behind. the bright avatar, and they'll stand in line in the avatar line in the cycle of who came before the previous avatar, who came before the neutral current avatar, and who came before the current dark avatar, and they'll stand in that line going on for centuries, eons to modern day bright neutral dark avatar. And so it picks up about 20,000 years later after the death of Avatar Aang. So in this timeline, I made many characters of Korra's Day from that other universe exist 20,000 years later. But I left out Korra because honestly, I would have never created Korra. And so Sofeena, which is the bright avatar, the white glowing eyes one, she's basically okay. She's my version of Korra, which would be she's basically this universe's version of Korra from the Water Tribe, but she's from the Northern Water Tribe. So it picks up, if my memory is correct, or sometime later. This dude, Shadow Kane, neutral avatar Shadow Kane, he's running around with Zahir and the rest of his rest of his three team members, and they're in the Red Lotus. And the way the world is set up 20,000 years later, the four nations are trying to invade. All four nations trying to take over, expand their borders. And the neutral avatar, Shadow Kane, is upset. And he's going around killing all these gangs, crime lords, and all that, trying to purge the Fire Nation of all this crap. He's the Fire Nation's neutral avatar. And so he goes into this fort where the gang lord is at, and he demands the gang lord to surrender, work with the neutral avatar, the guns, everything, the men and everything, work with the neutral avatar, the Red Lotus. And so the crime lord says okay after the neutral avatar Zahir and the rest of the Red Lotus killed a lot of the gang lord's people from his gang. And so, okay, I'm not going to tell the whole story because I'm going by memory. It's about 140, 80 pages long. But so later on, Kuvera is a housewife. She has a son named Zulu Elite. He's in high school in the Earth Kingdom Ba Sing Se, and they're being taught by Professor Yin, and Professor Yin tells the Earth Nation what the elements can do of the four bender types, and she goes into great detail of the deeper abilities that the four nations can do of benders, and people are amazed at what all four benders are capable of doing. And so later on, Julie is a Earth Kingdom a student, in which you see her. She's the granddaughter or great granddaughter to Avatar, excuse me, Bright Avatar Julie. So, excuse me, Julie. She's the granddaughter to um, Bright Avatar Sophie from the Fire Nation almost 200 years ago. And she's in high school and she's trying to learn earth bending. And the neutral avatar Shepherd, he's in love with her, or Zulu, whatever. Yeah, Zulu, who's in love with Julie. And then fast forward to My head hurt thinking about all this. It's just so much. My head hurt thinking about all this. It's just so much detail in this book. So it goes to the later on. It goes to the Water Nation, which would be the Northern Water Tribe, where Avatar Sophie. No, oh my gosh, Avatar Sophie is dead. So it goes to Bright Avatar. Oh, Sofeena as a Northern Water Tribe. The scene shifts to, and the tropical islands is where the Water Tribe would live on. They don't live on these ice lands no more. Sofina, she's a songstress. She's in the house. Her parents is talking, having a sexual talk almost. The daughter comes in about completing her training. Her mother is, I think, is the Air Witch of the Nile, and then they're facing something called the Illuminati, an evil secret organization. And the way the world is set up right now is that secret societies are trying to control everything, and the people are mad because they don't want to have a harder life, and the elite, the rich, they want to do their own thing, the globalists, be only full of themselves, and pretty much it's a war. If I can find the page, I'll show you Avatar's, excuse me, Bright Avatar, Sofina's parents. Where is it? Okay. This is her parents. Belle Melody is the mother, and Logan Melody is the father. The father is a master waterbender, and the mom is a master airbender. The mom never received her tattoos. She never wanted them. And so I'm gonna show you how Avatar, excuse me, a bright Avatar Sofina dresses in her room, in her house. Panties showing, got a too big for some cleavage showing, breast line showing, and she has the emblem showing, and she's the true bright Avatar, the true Avatar. And she's complaining about she don't want to be the bright Avatar, do her role, but then the mama has a girl talk with her, talking about impressing the boys and all that. And then she starts Avatar Sophina. She starts talking about the guy's crotch area. She gets excited and that she want to play her role as the right Avatar. If she gets all the cute guys to like her or whatnot, you know how these girl talks are between mother and daughter. So the right Avatar is her daughter. The mother and daughter gonna have their little girl talking girl thing in the girl world, female world. You know how these females are. So the way in this universe is in Sofina's world is that this guy and where is it? This guy, they are a, a bit of her soul cut off into three halves. Because every time the bright avatar reincarnates, it has a complete reincarnation of all three avatar types. The bright avatar gets his or her own three avatar types to help him or her keep the world in balance of their generation during a lifetime. And the bright avatar, if it's a female or a male, the neutral avatar is always born as the opposite gender. Since Avatar, bright Avatar Sofina is a girl. Guess who her neutral avatar was born as? A dude. And then the dark avatar, which would be Shepherd Fields, Shepherd Fields, if I think is his full name. The gender can depend on at random what the dark avatar will be. You never know what the dark avatar will reincarnate as, which gender. And so basically, they're having their thing between the Fire Nation, the Water Tribes, the Earth Nation, and they're doing their things on daily life. They're fighting crime, trying to keep the balance in check. And since this book one, which is water, Sofeena eventually goes to the Fire Nation trying to find the neutral avatar. And the neutral avatar is kind of cocky, arrogant, silly, rude, delinquent because he's a stupid, a fuckboy kid. He's kind of serious, and they had these costumes. Bright Avatar Sofina, Neutral Avatar Shadow Kane, Dark Avatar Dark Avatar Shepherd Fields. And she, her, she has some kind of costume. If I could find it, she ends up getting this when she run around as the Bright Avatar. As in, they'll see this like she's trying to be some kind of superhero or something. Basically, this is her with this on top of her. She is inside. She is inside this when she's running around as the neutral. No, excuse me, the Bright Avatar. And this guy, this is his costume when he's running around. Come on. As the neutral avatar. So this guy, I guess he wants to be a monster when he run around looking like this. He's the blood mask killer when he's dressed like that. And when she's dressed, like, oh, where is it again? Excuse me, I got all these pages I gotta flip through. When she dressed like this, she's called Bride Dancer. I haven't drawn Dark Avatar Shepherd Fields costume yet. That's for another book. And so later on, Bright Avatar Sofina is going to the Fire Nation, and the technology during her time is beyond the 21st century. They have flying trains, they have all these flying cars, these crazy building structures in the sky. They can go across the planet in half the time. They have all these hologram pads, video game systems, flying hoverboards, all this crazy science fiction technology. They got it. It's like they're many thousands of years in the future beyond us, the reader. So they can do some crazy things by then. And so Bright Avatar Sofina, she in her room on her ship, spaceship, airship, whatever it is called, going to the Fire Nation. She's visited by the spirit of Avatar Kyoshi, the spirit of Avatar Korra from a parallel universe, and she's having a freak out about this guy being the blood mask killer. So she is scared of, what is it? Him. She has no idea excuse me, she has no idea that this guy, the blood mask killer, is this 10-year-old fuckboy when the mask is removed. And this guy, he's rich. He got a girl teaching him firebending in a Fire Nation. Let me get to her. If I can find her stuff. Hold on. I'm going through pages really fast. Where's her stuff at? So, this girl, Nedre Falls, she's from the Fire Nation, age 13, a female. Her mother was the previous neutral avatar that came before neutral avatar Shadow Kane. So her mother was reincarnated as the current neutral avatar, which would be Shadow Kane. And so she is going around teaching him some firebending tricks, the fire maiden, and some other crazy stuff with firebending. And so this dude manages to create heat bending, keeping his body warm without freezing to death. And he later teaches her how to do heat bending, a firebending move. And so later on, she takes him to the Western Air Temple, where I think Avatar, excuse me, Bright Avatar Kyoshi. I'm going back in time. So she took neutral Avatar Shadow Kane to the Western Air Temple, where Bright Avatar Yang Chen grew up at. But 20 something thousand years later, and the women over there are training these airbending girls how to airbend, and neutral avatar Kane, neutral avatar Kane wants to fly, but then this lady, airbending master Nana, she don't want him to fly around the Western Air Temple yet because he hasn't mastered enough airbending to do so. And so the little children are using fart bending, the girls, they're like 3 years old, whatever. And so they're flying around the Western Air Temple. They come in for a landing and whatnot. And some of these girls are interested in boys. And the way Shadow Kane is, he knows the players' game when dealing with girls, not to give them too much attention. He's kind of like that bad boy. He's the Chad Brad, basically, but he's not really bothered with the women. He's kind of annoyed with them, even though he's heterosexual. He really don't give women the time of day. And he's all about himself. And so, knowing that neutral avatar Shadow Kane is the blood mask killer, this dude later goes back home to his estate and looks a lot like. Let me get this picture. This. So this guy, which is a nobleman in the Fire Nation, nobody knows he's the neutral avatar except only a few people. So this guy, when he's trying to be proper, he's this guy at the same time, the little hood bastard. And he's also the freaking blood mask killer. I'm showing you this picture again. Little stupid costume. This little instigator fuck boy. So yeah. He is him. Going through pages again, taking a bit of time. And he is him in different outfits. This guy, neutral avatar Kane, Shadow Kane, is a nobleman, rich, got limousines, a huge family, living in the mountains on a huge, vast estate. He's running a big gang, the Red Lotus. she purged the world of the criminal filth descended, and now it's leading up to they're going to a concert where bright Avatar Sofeena is going to sing. And the way it works is that the bright Avatar can feel her other missing part of her soul, which would be the neutral Avatar and the dark Avatar. So she plans to, once she goes to the Fire Nation singing, she knows the neutral Avatar, which will be him currently in his outfit, will be in the audience watching, and she can feel through some kind of spiritual crap that, let's say, your soul is cut in three and it's divided between you and two other people you don't know. When you're around another person that has your soul, a part of your soul inside their body, you can sense who that person is. And so she plans to do just that, locating her other two missing halves of herself. But first, she's in the Fire Nation trying to find him, which would, I guess, be him right now. And before she sings, she's looking at visions of previous bright avatars, previous neutral avatars, and previous bright avatars. So I'm going to show you some previous avatars: neutral avatar, bright avatar, dark avatar. Bright avatar Chinzen, neutral avatar Brianna, dark avatar Maul. Neutral avatar Kenny, dark avatar Chaos, bright avatar Tim, dark avatar Katori. And so, the way it is, some of these neutral avatars, bright avatars, dark avatars learned avatar Kyoshi's, bright avatar Kyoshi's longevity, how to overlive. And that's how the bright, some of these avatars will overlive, and some of their companions does not overlive. Now I'm gonna show you some of the past ones that came and gone before Avatar, Bright Avatar, Sofeena, Neutral Avatar, Shadow Kane, and Dark Avatar, Shepherd Fields. So these are the past reincarnated lives that came before the current bright, neutral, dark avatars. These are their past reincarnated lives. A bright avatar, a dark avatar from the Water Nation. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm searching through this book again. Come on, hurry up. And this is a previous bright avatar that came and gone. A previous bright avatar that came and gone. A previous bright avatar that came and gone. A previous a previous neutral avatar that came and gone. A pimp named Collections. A nig in a purple suit. Another neutral avatar that came and gone. I'm gonna show you some more of them. So this take place after the death of Avatar Aang, around 20,000 years later in the future. But in current day, which is 20,000 something years later, you start to see some of the previous avatars types that came and gone before the current ones. And this is the avatar, no, excuse me, bright avatar Nylok, the one that came and gone before this girl. So it works like this. So air came before water. And so this guy, Avatar Nylok, after he died, he quickly got reincarnated as her. And so this guy, Avatar, my bright Avatar Nylock, is Sofena's spirit guide. See if I can go back in time, see some more of them. I don't think there's many of them at this left in this book showing you the past neutral, bright, dark avatar types. But if I find some more, I'll show you. I could show you one thing before I stop. Hold on. Excuse me. So this is Rava, the Harmony Spirit, and this is Vatu, the Chaos Spirit, and this is Avalon, the Neutral Spirit. This dude, Avalon, is very powerful. He can grow really, really big to the point his head is above the clouds. He's a powerhouse of destruction and mayhem. Powerhouse to take things down by force. This dude is pretty much built for war when he's the just a normal spirit, or he's currently inside this guy, which would be the neutral avatar. And the neutral avatar is like a crazy enhanced version of the bright and dark avatar. Basically when you fight the neutral avatar, it's like going up against 100,000 avatars all at once, attacking you all at once. And it's like the enhanced, the bright avatar, the dark avatar. Oh my gosh. The neutral avatar, the way he can bend the elements as a neutral avatar, it's like he's on the three Sozin's comets or whatever, and on the three full moons. So let's say if Avatar Roku was a neutral avatar, Roku would have made it off of Ember Island. Roku would have been able to stop that volcano from exploding. Roku would have definitely went after Sozin and stopped that 100-year war before it ever started. Roku would have killed Sozin. And Aang would never met Katara and whatnot. That's how freaking overpowered the neutral avatar is. The neutral avatar is a weapon of destruction. He's a war avatar to win wars and impossible fights. They will send the neutral avatar in. You get what I'm saying? So this guy is the main thing, and the neutral avatar can bring the bright avatar, the neutral avatar. Excuse me. So this guy, the neutral avatar, can bring the bright avatar and the dark avatar together in harmony with each other. And this guy, the neutral, information overload. This guy, the dark avatar, Shepherd Fields, he in Bossing Say does some kind of dead man resurfacing jutsu, earth style. He used spirit bending, which is an air bending technique, water bending, healing bending, which is a water bender technique, and earth bending. So you create some kind of bootleg resurrection version of resurrecting previous people that came and gone long ago dead. So he brings Bright Avatar Yang Chen, Bright Avatar Kurik, Bright Avatar Kyoshi, Avatar Roku, and Toph Beifong when she was a child back up in coffins in Ba Sing Se, outside the walls of Ba Sing Se, the Great Walls, up as these mannequins, which is very durable, by the way. They start talking, start breathing again, start bending the elements. They about to fight this gang that wants to invade Ba Sing Se, and so a big ass fight about to break loose. And Shepherd Fields, which is the Dark Avatar, he's sitting on top of the Great Wall of Bossing Say, bending the elements, sitting still inside some rock square. And Dai Li is around the neutral avatar trying to protect them if something goes wrong. And so he's literally using the the dark avatar state to resurrect a bootleg version of Yang Chen, Kurik, Kyoshi, Roku, Ta in a bootleg version to live again. Half ass doing it, you can say. So they started doing more techniques of bending the elements. And the way the avatars state between the bright, neutral, and dark is they all connected because they basically just one person. So the neutral and dark is just a clone of the bright avatar, but slightly edited. They're not related by bloodlines. So previous ghosts of the dark, bright, neutral avatars and other ghosts like Zula or whatever can actually visit the current living three avatar types as a ghost, and they'll do it anytime they want to. And some of these ghosts is still able to bend the elements. Like one time, the ghost of Azula came back as a ghost and just firebend Shadow Kane's drugs into being destroyed. And drugs, in my story, is that it shuts off the bender's ability to bend the elements properly. And Azula says if she would have took drugs, she would have lost to Aang and Zuko a lot faster back in the day when she was still alive. So that's pretty much it.